Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Well, can the 2016 election be rigged? Roger Stone says, you bet. I'm Margaret Hell reporting for Infowars.com. You know, we've talked about election rigging, electronic manipulation ad nauseum here at Infowars.
Voter fraud itself, while not non-existent, as the left would tell you, is essentially more limited. The larger problem here is election theft, the manipulation of what used to be known as the DIEBOLD machines in common usage across the country. Now, if the Clintons would steal the election from Bernie Sanders, the nomination, as the DNC WikiLeaks proved they did, why would they not steal the election from Donald Trump if they can?
Well, Stone says that voter fraud, specifically election fraud in this article, election theft through the manipulation of computerized voting machines is likely. Now, these DIEBOLD voting machines, they're widely used in most states. He talks about exactly how a computer hacker showed CBS that voting multiple times by using a simple $15 electronic device bought at Best Buy could happen. Now, Stone cites a Professor Fitrakis, poli-sci professor. He talks about this ad nauseum, and he goes into this article saying, here's the recipe how you publish a poll, a contrived number to suggest the result you're going to bring about. Then you manipulate the machine to bring about precisely the desired outcome. A mathematician and voting statistic expert that he also cites produced a very compelling study. I encourage you to take a look at this article in depth. By comparing polling to actual results and exit polls, it makes a compelling case for how the voting machine manipulation can occur. Now, we saw this happen. Hillary Clinton, we know, just looking at what she did with the nomination, taking it from Bernie Sanders, there was no way, you know, Infowars, we were on the ground 70-1 we would find for Bernie Sanders, those supporters. We were so hard-pressed to find a Hillary supporter anywhere. We know from those leaks that there was mass corruption on a large scale, that they were doing everything they could to secure the nomination for Hillary Clinton, and she took it. And Stone lays out this very compelling case that the 2016 election could be rigged in a similar way using these electronic machines. Now, the theft comes in with a computerized system that they know can be tripped up very easily. We've had experts here on Infowars talking about this, experts like Bev Harris, and we've covered this. Now, Stone says that both parties engage in this. He's been with multiple presidential administrations, campaigns. He understands, he's a Republican. He says Republicans do it as well as Democrats. Now, Stone goes on to cite the case of Wisconsin. He says that there was a strong indication that Scott Walker and Reince Priebus machine-rigged as many as 5 elections, including the defeat of a Walker recall election. So we know that this is possible. And mathematicians and voting experts, they're saying that by rolling out these absurd polls like Hillary Clinton ahead of the game when she can't even pack a stadium, they're setting us up for this type of machine manipulation. Now, one political science professor who has been widely published, Paul Joseph Watson at Infowars, he covered this. His name is Helmut Norpoth. He says that Trump has an 87% chance of winning this election. Now, this political science professor, he uses this election model. He's accurately predicted the outcome of a popular vote 5 times in a row, and he says that Trump has an overwhelming 87% chance of winning the presidency in the event that they don't try to steal it through these machine manipulation tactics. And he appeared on Lou Dobbs on Fox Business, and he laid forth his case. He says, I know that if you look at the polls right now, the polls are saying one thing, but polls and how people feel today at the election, it's not more than 2.5 months from now. And he's saying that he has enough pull behind him to take this overwhelmingly. Now, going back to what Stone said for a moment about the election theft and how easy it is to manipulate these machines, they were called DIEBOLD machines. And in my research, I was taking a look to try to find out which states are using them. And they've gotten such a bad rap that they've sold off a part of their company in order to change their name, because the DIEBOLD name is known for election theft, and it's really troubling that you can do this with a simple $15 Best Buy device. You know, this is something that dictators have known for decades. In fact, one of them, his words echoing from the grave, very troubling, We know that we're living in a fake reality where Hillary Clinton constructed data. This machine that she's operating with, this Soros machine, we know that he's funding her. We know that Obama and Hillary, they've tried, along with Soros, to start a war with Russia. Soros, this leaked information from the DC leaks, we understand the underbelly of this machine, and we also understand that they're capable of rigging this election if they can't do it the old-fashioned way, which is winning it. And Stone highlights this well. And as I pointed out, the election manipulation is on such a mass scale that the EU has actually banned these types of machines. They've gone back to an old-fashioned way of doing things, and it remains to be seen, can she pull it off? Can she successfully rig this? And we know that she's setting it up because the polls are so skewed. Every mainstream media is covering the fact that she's got this marginal lead, when if you really look at the numbers and the data, it just doesn't add up.
Introducing Secret 12, the new Infowars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Now, InfowarsLife.com is excited to announce that we can bring you our most bioactive, powerful form of B12 that has been developed with our exclusive perfected process. Secret 12 is a binary of nutramedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfowarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.